What if Toy Story 5 wasn't about toys being forgotten, but toys being exposed? Because there's one detail in the Toy Story 5 poster that I can't stop thinking about, and that's LilyPad. She's not just a tablet, she has a camera. What if she's not just distracting Bonnie from playing with the toys? What if she's trying to take down the toys? And before I expand on this, I just want to touch upon the new image that released for Toy Story 5. I want to give some of my thoughts. People I know are going to be hating on Woody, how he's already here, and I'm assuming this is a shot, hopefully from not too far. I hope they explain why Woody's back, how he gets back and all that. So yeah, Woody's here with Buzz, and I do also notice that he doesn't have his pull string on the back, which lines up with Toy Story 4, and so we can see Bonnie's mom looking at Bonnie on her tablet. Bonnie actually does not look happy being on the tablet. I'm not sure what's going on there. And everything else just looks the same. It definitely looks more realistic. Everything looks fantastic, and I'm super excited for Toy Story 5. So let's get back into this dark theory. In Toy Story 5's poster, we see LilyPad is front and center, and you can clearly see she has a camera on it, and that it's on because you can see the toy's reflection on her screen. And in a world where toys survive by never being seen and living their secret lives, a camera is basically a loaded weapon. So here's my little theory. LilyPad records the toys moving, not by accident, but on purpose, and she threatens them with it. If you don't do what I want, I'll show Bonnie. That alone makes LilyPad one of the darkest villains in all of Toy Story history. She has proof that the toys are alive. Toy Story 5 is confirmed to deal with technology replacing the traditional toy. And we have already seen some technology in the Toy Story universe. Bonnie will now, in Toy Story 5, stop playing with her toys and be glued to screens, just like in the real world. And toys don't get thrown away anymore. They just get ignored. So LilyPad becomes a symbol of what toys are afraid of. Constant supervision, kids choosing screens over imagination, and the end of toys as we know them. And that's where Woody and Bo come into the story. They've seen how kids now live their lives. And don't forget something, people. Woody already knows how to use technology. As seen in Toy Story 3, he understood how to use a computer. Yeah, that was basic, but it shows that he's already adapting to technology. So he might know how to use phones, tablets, and already figured out how to communicate with them, reason with them, or just know how to use them. And that is why the toys call Woody back for help, because they need his help with Bonnie and LilyPad. Now, let's talk about Jessie, because we already know that this movie is about her, and how she's going to be struggling in this movie. And there is a rumor that she's going to go back to Emily and where she grew up. Jessie was forgotten, as seen in Toy Story 2, where Emily, her previous owner before Andy, forgot her and left her behind. And we're going to see that Jessie dealing with these emotions, experiencing the same thing. And there's rumors, like I said, that she goes back to Emily and the tire swing. The same place. We don't know how much, if this is true or what she sees there, but she might see Emily grown up and then realize something heartbreaking. That this wasn't personal, but it was life. Kids grow up and grow out of toys. And that is what's happening with Bonnie. So how do we reason with that? How do we deal with that? And this could be one of the most emotional movies in Toy Story history. If we see Jessie struggle with that once again, and we see her emotions having to deal with how is she going to adapt with this technology, and how can she realize that Bonnie might not need her anymore, or might not need her as much anymore. So now let's expand on this theory. LilyPad has this evidence that they're alive. Right? Let's not forget about that. That is the core theory here. That LilyPad films them moving, and they have to deal with LilyPad having a video of them moving and threatening toy kind. So this is an extension of this theory of how I think this will go. LilyPad will agree to delete the video. Either she will just have a change of heart, or they will force her to, or something like that. They will convince her to delete the video. And she says she'll delete the video. Now, she deletes the video happily ever after. Or here's the twist. And I think this has potential of happening. She doesn't delete the video. Either she forgets or keeps it on purpose. The toys think everything's okay. Woody and Bo stay with Bonnie. Bonnie learns how to play with tech and toys at the same time, using physical toys and digital creativity. The balance is restored, happy ending. Or so we think, because we know that Toy Story 5 isn't going to be the last. Andrew Stanton, the director, has already said that he's happy to continue bringing these stories to us, which basically says that there's going to be more. If Toy Story 5 makes over $1 billion, I can definitely see Toy Story 6, 7, 8, so on. Am I happy about that? I don't know. But that's not the point. In the end credit scene of Toy Story 5, I think this is how it's going to go. Bonnie is alone, on her bed, on the iPad, and she sees a video. She says, "What's this?" Taps on it. We don't see the screen. All we hear is Woody, Buzz, Jessie talking. Bonnie freezes, then screams, "Ah, Mom!" She runs out of the room, throws the iPad to the ground, and cut to black. Toy Story has officially crossed the line if they decide to do this. And then that sets up for Toy Story 6. If Pixar actually decides to do something like this for Toy Story 5, this might be the darkest movie, the darkest villain, the darkest story in the Toy Story universe yet. So what do you want to see in Toy Story 5? Do you think LilyPad will be this mean of a villain? Comment down below. And if you're excited for Toy Story 5, don't forget to like and subscribe.